It's that time of the year, festival season, and this year started off with a bang, leaving from Salida, Colorado, all the way to Tucson, Arizona. This morning, I left Chaffee County really early in the morning to a really icy drive over Poncha Pass and dropped down right into the San Luis Valley as the sun was starting to rise. I've always loved driving through the San Luis Valley, even though it does seem like there's a whole lot of nothing going on. It is really beautiful, and there is something very magical about the valley. And going through it during sunrise has always held special meaning to me. Kind of the quiet and the solitude. Right over here to the left at the Sangre de Cristos, you can see the sun coming up right over those. Most of the drive here, you can't see it from the front view, but they're going right along the side of my vehicle there. Right here is where I started to enter the state of New Mexico, and Land of Enchantment is right, because just 5 minutes into my drive, this is what it looked like. I hit a snowstorm. And then once I hit Santa Fe, Colorado, that snowstorm did turn into a rainstorm. And let me tell you, that rain got really heavy. And so I ended up turning off the camera until I got past Albuquerque and made a stop at one of my favorite rest stops here. I like this one. It has little private dining areas. The restrooms are always clean. And then, of course, Hatch, New Mexico. Love this place. I did not stop on the way there because I had a feeling that my parents were going to be cooking dinner for my arrival. And Hatch, New Mexico is less than 4 hours from my parents' house. I think about 3. And so I just kept going past. Oh, there's a dust storm right there. I went through all kinds of crazy weather on this trip. Here we are getting closer to southern Arizona. I am in the Arizona border now. And right here, we are in my mom's neighborhood. I kind of took off all the identifying signs out of this video, to give her some privacy. But this is what it's like driving in my mom's neighborhood. I mean, she really does live out there. And do not attempt her driveway without four-wheel drive. Had a beautiful time sitting out on the back porch with Mom. And then early in the morning, watching the sunrise up in the desert and visiting all of the chickens. Of course, my pop packed up a whole bunch of eggs for me to take home with me. Had my nephews and niece and my brother-in-law over for dinner. And the next day, my pop helped me set up my whole booth, getting ready for the Tucson Spring Festival of the Arts. The festival's about an hour from where my parents live, so it was really nice to be able to drive back and forth. I didn't even bother getting a hotel this time because, just saved money, and it maximized the amount of time I was able to spend with my family. So every day I just drove back and forth from my parents' house back to Tucson, Arizona. This is how you know you're in an area with good food. If you have to keep driving through Border Patrol checkpoints, chances are you're going to get some good tacos. And this was the location of my booth. I really love this location. It's really easy to find. And there's a big Hare Krishna temple in Tucson. So, of course, the Hare Krishnas were out in full force trying to get money from everybody. They take Venmo now. There's Wooden Tooth Records, me on Saturday, my friends Troy and Toby, Wooden Tooth Records. My nephew came and worked for me on Sunday. There's my cousin Jeff, my cousin, and a couple of my cousins, and my aunt. The booth behind me kept slamming into my booth and edging their way over a foot into my booth space and cussed me out when I asked him to please stop doing that. That was fun. I had more friends, Marlena and Sharon, come visit. And then for the drive home, I had Your Brain on Art all queued up on the audiobook. Right when I started my trip, there was this vulture at the end of my mom's driveway. And then, of course, the Border Patrol stations again. It was a really easy drive through Arizona. Obviously, this foodie loves Hatch because for some reason I took a lot of video of Hatch, New Mexico. So stop anywhere in Hatch. You're going to get some good food and take some chilies home with you to go. Of course, I always stop at a very specific place, B&E Burritos, family-run place. You just walk up to that window and order. This place is absolutely amazing, and they're always so friendly and kind to me there. And going back home. Right when I start to see those mountains in the distance, I start getting excited because now I know that I'm getting home. So as those mountains get closer, I'm getting closer and closer to home. Right here, we're kind of still in the San Luis Valley in Colorado. And all I need to do is get back over those mountains, and I'm almost there. I made really good time this time, and the sun was just starting to set as I was starting to get into the mountains, which made for a really easy drive over the pass and everything. You can see the weather is starting to drastically change here, little patches of snow on the ground, and it made for a really beautiful sunset. But it sure was nice. Right here is right where I'm entering back into Chaffee County and back into Salida, Colorado. Back home to my kitten. Well, thank you so much, Tucson, Arizona, and can't wait for the next trip.